Hi everyone, today we're looking at John chapter 11. Now here we find a story of Lazarus. Now Lazarus was a friend of Jesus, and we find out that he is sick. And what we also see, his sisters write a letter to Jesus. They say this in the letter: the one you love is sick. Like when I look at that, I think of sometimes when we are praying for people, we're praying for ourselves. I think sometimes maybe we don't think about the fact that Jesus actually loves us. He loves us, and because he loves us, he comes through for us. And then we see Jesus speaks to his disciples. He says this sickness is not going to bring death, but it will glorify the Father. Now the disciples didn't understand what he meant, because he stayed even longer before going to the family of Lazarus. And we see Jesus going after 3 days to the family of Lazarus, and Lazarus had died. And one of the things that we see, that as he's approaching the house, one of the sisters springs up. She comes out, she goes straight to Jesus, falls on his feet and says, "Jesus, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." How often do we think that some of the situations, because God wasn't there, and some things that we are faced with, we think, "Oh God, where are you when I'm going through this?" And because in her thinking, she thought that Jesus was a healer who healed the sick. But now this is beyond Jesus. It's beyond his power, because now the brother has died. How often in our lives as well, where we think, "Oh no, this is too damaged. Jesus can't do anything anymore. This is it." And this is how the sister felt about the situation as well. But Jesus assures her and says this to her: "Your brother will rise." She says, I know he will rise, but in the end, when all the dead rise. And Jesus says to her, "No, I am the resurrection and the life." And what she had known the theology of resurrection, and she had known about resurrection. She did not know that right in front of her at that time was the resurrection and the life in Jesus Christ. I want to challenge you this morning. I want you to think about those things that you've been praying for, and maybe you haven't seen an answer, and tell you that it's never too late for God, and nothing is ever too big for Jesus, and nothing is ever too much for him. Be blessed.